Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Wednesday. It's Daryl here. It's 5 a.m. in Connecticut on the East Coast. I want to talk today about Trump and his new tactics, supposedly a 57-page memo leaked out from the Trump 2020 campaign Politico has it. And it describes in detail their new strategy to deal with Joe Biden. The strategy basically is to tie China to Biden, and of course, Trump has come up with besides for his Sleepy Joe nickname for Joe Biden, he's come up with another one, Bejing Biden. Uh, as you guys probably have seen before, this is one of the things that I find the most embarrassing, shameful of Donald Trump is his use of these childish, juvenile nicknames for everybody and anybody that says anything against him. I really don't know how Trump supporters can publicly claim that they support this man child. But anyway, so I started researching. Is there any evidence at all? Anything to go on? Tying Joe Biden to China, I could not find one shred of evidence. A whole lot of innuendo that Biden is easy on China, but I found nothing, absolutely nothing that ties him to China. On the contrary, I found that Politico also obtained some records that Donald Trump got loans from the Bank of China for tens of millions of dollars. I'm not sure when the timing was on these loans. And we all know how Trump talks up. This is his one defense we all know how he's royally ignored and screwed up the coronavirus situation. His one defense of it is that he stopped travel back in January, mid-January. That's his go-to. Well, at least I did that. And he goes to that was the biggest and greatest and best thing ever done. And before that, weeks, even days before that, he was talking up Jean Ping. I can't, excuse me if I can't pronounce the Chinese president's name, but he was talking him up, talking about how he was going to have a big, beautiful trade deal with the second biggest economy in the world, and he couldn't talk enough glowing praise of China before the coronavirus. And now he's all but accusing China of intentionally starting the coronavirus and spreading it to the United States. In this memo that Politico obtained, a 57-page memo, it talks about how his base his xenophobic base is talking about China and how it's China's fault, and so he's just feeding into the racist and xenophobic views of his base. Again, going back to blame China he needs a scapegoat basically for his mishandling of. We all remember what he said. What was it, 8 weeks ago? Oh, there's 15 cases in the United States, and there'll be 5 next week, and before you know it, it'll be gone. Summer will be here. Yeah, and I believe we just went over 1 million cases in the United States, and I think we're at about 57,000 people dead in the United States. 57,000 people dead in less than 2 months. So, yeah, Trump's got this big albatross around his neck right now, and he's looking anywhere and everywhere for a scapegoat. So, don't be surprised in the future when you hear Trump call Joe Bejing Biden. Like I said, I can't stand those. To me, it's one of the many most shameful things he's done is this constant. I suppose they're intended to be an insult. When I hear Donald Trump use these nicknames, it makes me think less of him. Um, Take, for instance, me or somebody else my age in our 40s, 50s. I can't imagine myself going around town and calling somebody Slick Sam or Shady Sally, or I can't imagine myself sinking to that level. I can't imagine myself befriending or tolerating any of my friends going around saying stuff like that. Um, if you've got a problem with somebody, come out and say it and deal with it. But these nicknames are just childish and belittling. To me, it says so much more about the person Donald Trump saying it. We use things, he says these things. Why does he say these why does he use these nicknames? Why? He uses them because he thinks it belittles the other person. He thinks it's going to embarrass the other person, humiliate them, bully them. That's why he would use them, right? So what's that tell you? It tells you that that's something. If he uses that to hurt or bother or aggravate other people, then that tells you right there that that's a weakness of his. That he is that shallow, that juvenile, that immature, that something that like calling him a name would bother him. And then that tells you, again, that tells you what kind of person you're dealing with. A shallow, immature 72, 73-year-old man. Anyway, don't be surprised if you hear the title Bejing Biden. And from what I can tell, I couldn't find one valid accusation tying Joe Biden to China in any way, shape, or form. It was just innuendo spouted by Trump trying to deflect blame for the coronavirus. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to take down his political rival and deflect blame from his massive screw up over the coronavirus. He's killed two birds with one stone, basically, by tying Biden and China together. That's the goal, basically, of the 57-page memo that leaked out that Politico got its hands on, along with records of Donald Trump getting tens of millions of dollars of loans from the Bank of China himself. All right. You guys have a good Wednesday. I'll be back in a little while with some more.